Hi, Christy with Guidepost to Wellness again. Hey, thanks for joining me today for all of you return viewers and for you new viewers. Today's just going to be a short, quick invitation. Those of you may have noticed that I did a video recently talking about sitting and is sitting the new smoking. I'm sure a lot of people have heard different things about that. But the fact of the matter is most of us spend a large portion of our day either inactive or sitting for work and leisure now. So I'm going to be starting a sit less, move more challenge. I did a challenge a little while ago on meditation, and I'm inviting everybody to start the challenge. I'm going to start it officially October 1st because I just think that's a great time to start it. But as you guys watch this video, feel free to start at any time. And the key thing here is we want to focus on sitting less and moving more. One of the things I encourage you to do is to get a baseline. Take a look at how much you actually spend sitting or standing in your current work and leisure environment over the next day or two. And then when you're ready to start, then look at ways to slowly increase the amount of time that you spend standing or moving and decrease the time that you spend sitting. And I'm going to put some links below down below for other videos I've done on habit formation and things. You'll find that I am a big believer in starting small, making incremental changes, because if we do that, then we're going to have a lot more success in the long run. So that's what I'd recommend that you do. Figure out your baseline and then find out ways that you can increase it. Some of the things that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a timer. I don't wear a Fitbit or anything like that that has an inactivity sensor. If you do, definitely turn that on, and then every time it buzzes you, then make sure that you get up, maybe stand up, sit down a couple of times, and then take a short walk. Otherwise, I'm going to set up a timer, and I'm going to make sure that when the timer goes off, I'm going to stand up if I'm sitting, and then I'm going to take a walk. The other things that I'm going to do that I've already been incorporating, but I'm just going to do even more, is park even further away. I usually do this pretty well, but I'm going to push myself and park even all the way at the furthest part of the parking lot, everywhere that I park now. So my goal is going to be to incorporate less sitting, more standing, also more movement. Another option can be just to stretch. One of the things that can happen is we can get very stiff. So during some of the breaks, it might be a good idea at least once or twice a day, instead of sitting, to do some stretching. I'll put some links down below for some great easy stretches to start out to kind of remove some of the stiffness. We often have postural challenges when we sit for long periods of time, and especially if we're in front of a computer. I noticed that I was having some left shoulder issues because I mouse with my left hand, and it was causing, because I work at the computer sometimes 10+ hours a day, it was actually causing my shoulder to rotate and just some postural things. So by being aware of that, I was able to improve my posture there. But by looking at phones or books or a laptop or a tablet in our laps, we have this tendency to put our heads down, and that can actually pull and put a lot of strain on the back of our neck, and then that can feed on down as well. So other alternatives are, instead of, if you're doing something leisurely, instead of sitting in a chair, to do some of the more active sitting that I mentioned in the previous video. And that can be actually squatting. So I'm here under the tree, and I'm just gonna squat down for a little while now. Like I mentioned in my other video, I'm gonna try to do this for the rest of the video, and we'll see how successful I am, because it actually takes a lot of muscles, and it's just a challenging position to be in if you're not used to squatting. But they found that hunter-gatherers, whether our ancestors or current groups, spend a lot of time squatting when they do things. And so that uses a lot of the leg muscles, especially the act of getting up. The other thing that you can do is, instead of sitting in a chair with your feet down or your feet up or something, would be to sit cross-legged, because that can help actually open up the hips and stretch the hip flexors, which can get really, really tight. If you do a lot of driving, again, another recommendation, think of that as just like you're sitting in a chair or anything, and make sure that you take regular breaks so that you can stretch out a little bit And especially if you're driving, that's another time where your arms are forward and your head might get forward. So you want to make sure that you're doing some stretching there too. So I look forward to your feedback. For everybody that joins me in my October Sit Less Move More Challenge, and I'll be doing some updates. I'm going to use my habit tracker because I like how that'll remind me, and it's a real simple way. There are a lot of different apps out there, and like I said, if you've got a fitness tracker that prompts you to move, absolutely use that as well. So I'll be back in a couple weeks with an update on how I'm doing on my challenge, and I look forward to hearing from you all as well. Take care, be well.